welcome back to another Renee's Corner video. I'm Tanisha Renee. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going over like grad school essentials, things that I think that you should have for grad school, starting with a master's degree or a PhD. These are just things I think that you should have so that you have the most successful school year. Unlike elementary school, high school, and even a little bit college, like you don't necessarily buy new school supplies when you're in grad school, even though I really would love to. I love school supply time. Like back to school time at stores and stuff is like my favorite time of year because I think I just love all the organizational stuff that comes up, planners, backpacks. I just think it's all so cute. So basically, I kind of got off on a tangent there. Basically today we are going to be going over my grad school essentials. So let's get started right now. Okay, so the first thing I think that is most important to grad school success is getting a good backpack or bag, like a tote bag. So one of the things that I looked for when I got a backpack and a tote bag was waterproof because it rains in most of the country. So one time in undergrad it rained and my backpack got soaked and all of my stuff was ruined. My books, my planner, everything was ruined. I was like, oh no, that's never happening to me again. So I got a waterproof backpack. So this one is by High Sierra. Sorry about that noise. This one's by High Sierra. I freaking love this backpack. It has a suspension strap system, whatever that means. I'm not really sure, but it's a really good backpack. It holds all my stuff. In grad school, you likely won't be carrying around textbooks. It depends on the program, but you likely won't be carrying around textbooks and stuff like that. So you just need a backpack that's big enough to carry like your laptop, like notebooks, and just like other things, miscellaneous things that you might need for the day. I also have this tote bag. It is from Amazon. That is also waterproof because I will never be caught slipping like that ever again, okay? So you just need a very good sturdy bag that will be able to hold all your things when you go to class or when you go to campus or when you go to the lab or whatever. You just need a very, very good bag. And yeah, so that's the first thing. So the number two thing that you should have on your supply list is a good working computer, laptop, tablet, whatever you're gonna use for technology. Make sure it's good and in good order, good functioning, all that, because you don't want the computer to die during the school year. Like that could be really detrimental to how you get your stuff done, how you transition into school, all that. It could be really, really upsetting. I had to do that last year. I have a older 2012 MacBook Pro and it just started to act a little funny, and then it was acting so funny, like it started to update and then it never came back on for like weeks. So that was bad because I needed my computer for class. Like we were running R on our computers, blah, blah, blah. All that to say, you need a good computer that works. I like to use a MacBook Pro and I like to also use a iPad Pro. I have an older iPad Pro, so one with like the button. And I use an Apple Pencil with that. That system works for me, but what works for you is a little different. So make sure you just have good working technology that is not going to die. The number three thing that is an essential is a planner. I personally use this Idlewild planner that was gifted to me in January, and the reason you need a planner is because you aren't gonna remember everything. Like sometimes like in undergrad, I could just remember the things I had to do in my mind. But in grad school, there's just so much you have to do and remember and keep track of. So I highly, highly, highly suggest a planner. I personally like a paper planner. I tried to use a digital planner. It just didn't work for me, but some people like digital planners. So just get a planner and use a planner system that works for you. I mean, if you haven't used a planner before, it's gonna be a bit of a transition, but use a planner and don't try to remember everything on your own because you're not gonna remember it all. Okay, so the next thing you want to be sure that you have is a water bottle, a coffee, travel coffee thing, and a really good lunchbox. I think I got this lunchbox from Target actually. But a lot of people will tell you that in grad school you just need to make sure you drink a lot of water. Just in general, in life in general, you need to drink water. So getting a water bottle is a good way to remember to do that. A lot of people drink coffee in grad school. I actually don't drink coffee. My mom gave me this coffee mug thing, and yeah, it'll be good for you to have like a travel coffee thing so that you don't have to like sit with a mug. You can just bring your coffee with you to school. And yeah, and a lunchbox because you need to eat. And one way that it helps me to remember to eat is because I'm like, oh, do I have my lunchbox in the morning, to make sure I have whatever I'm taking for lunch with me that day, because grad school is hard and you don't want to start having bad eating habits where you're not nourishing your body. So pack a lunch and be sure to drink lots of water. Okay, the next thing I would suggest that is essential to grad school is hand sanitizer. So I am one of those people who always has hand sanitizer in my bag because I am prone sometimes to getting sick. And one way that I try to eliminate me getting sick is I use a bunch of hand sanitizer, probably more than the recommended use, but it just makes me feel clean, you know, touching doors, touching labs. This year I'm working with kids are germy, so just making sure that you have some hand sanitizer and have good practices around washing your hands and stuff is really important, because being sick in grad school sucks, because like if you miss a day, it's like you're missing like 6 lectures. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself and use some lovely hand sanitizer. So the next essential item I recommend is like some technology things. So making sure that you have like a USB stick. Is that what that's called? Like a USB stick? It sounds right that I'm saying a USB stick, but it doesn't feel right. A USB port, I don't know. A USB thing, like an external memory card, headphones, making sure you have extra chargers, and those kind of things that help your technology work better. Also, you want a USB port, card, I don't know, a USB stick to make sure that you are backing up your documents, because you don't want to have, technology is only as good as we use it, and sometimes it fails because it's not perfect. So you want to make sure that you have backups of all your written work. And so some people use Google Docs for backup, some people use USBs. It really just depends on what you want, but you really want to make sure you're backing up your work every single week. Okay, so the next thing you want to be sure that you have a lot of is pens. So I have a variety of pens, pencils, highlighters. You just want to make sure that you have enough writing utensils so that you're not stealing other people's, because that's annoying. And you just want to make sure that you have stuff ready to go so that you're not like asking people or needing to borrow things, blah, 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 blah. Pens are important. You need to be able to write, point blank period. Okay, so the next item that you need to have is either notebooks or file folders or regular folders or binders. However you like to organize for school, I would highly recommend you get all that stuff ahead of time so that during the school year you're not trying to like get it. I personally am trying to move to paperless, so I like to keep a lot of files on my computer and on my external hard drive, but I also know that a lot of my professors here at school like paper, so I make a file folder for each class. I'm like looking over there because I'm looking at all the files that I have already, but I make a file folder for each class and I just stick all the papers they give us in there, and that helps me stay organized, where I'm not like, oh, where's that paper they gave me that one time? Like, I know it's already in the folder. And so whatever system works for you, use it, and make sure you buy the supplies ahead of time. I also used to use the 5-star like binder hybrids, where it had like a notebook and it was like a binder all together. I really like those too, but since I'm moving to paperless, I don't really need them. Another thing I would recommend having is, whoops, I dropped it, having Post-its, just because I feel like these are great to remind me of things. If something's like really, what is that on the back here? To remind you of things. If there's something really, really important and you just need to write it down real fast, jot it down, put it on a Post-it. highly recommend using Post-its. I mean, sometimes I like to just write things on Post-its instead of in my planner. I don't know why, but I highly recommend having some Post-its. They make them in such fun colors now, and yeah, highly recommend you use Post-its. I also sometimes use Post-its for my readings if there's like a note or something I need to do in a book. I don't like to write in textbooks. Some people do, I don't. So I like to write those things on my Post-its. I also use Post-its to divide up my DSM. And yeah, so I just think it's really essential and it's very helpful to have little Post-its everywhere. Okay, and the last grad school essential is to bring your energy and determination and a positive attitude. I think that your mindset is like so imperative to having a good, successful grad school experience, and making sure that you are not only taking care of yourself, but you're like bringing your A game, you know, and making sure that you are putting your best foot forward, bringing a positive attitude every day. Like, nobody wants to be around somebody who has like a stink attitude all the time. And just, I think that if you go into grad school with a positive outlook and a positive mind, and knowing that it's going to be hard, but you're determined and you're going to work really hard, I think that sets the tone for the year and sets you on the right path. And yeah, I just think it's very important to have a good mindset going into grad school. Okay friends, that is it for today's videos. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 essentials for grad school and being in a PhD program. If there are essentials that I forgot, which is very possible, be sure to leave those below in the comments. I will leave a link in the description with all of these items all in one place, so you don't have to like look for them, whatever. And I will leave that link below. If you have watched this far, be sure to leave a school emoji, because we're like all in back to school mode. I'm really excited for this year. This is actually it's like the Tuesday of my first week. So be sure to leave some school emojis down below if you've watched this far. Be sure to follow me over on my Instagram. I finally have come up with a better system that works for me, works for the Instagram algorithm and everything, so be sure to follow me over there. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Please consider subscribing. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is like mind-blowing, because like this time last year I didn't even have 200. So thank you all to this amazing community, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out.